Alright, so here we go. Alright, so this is about a week and a half, 2 weeks past due. I was trying to get my first video up when I did my first trade, but things happen. So anyway, um, first and foremost, this is not some type of freaking advice. I'm not giving people advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your finances. You want financial advice? Talk to a financial person, investor, or whatever. Um, what I'm doing is I'm showing you what I do, right? Um, so if you want to follow, if you learn something, then that's good. I know people always ask me how do I pick my positions, and they want to see if what I do actually works. So here it is. No cut cards, no gimmicks, no nothing. Um, I started out with $600 in my account. That's all I put in my account, and I've done this before, and it was successful. So I just wanted to show people that it can be successful. And if I flop, then you know maybe you learn something from why I flop or whatever. Um, but a lot of people just don't believe that you can get into investments and make money with limited capital. So that's why I chose $600. Most people can save 600 bucks if they cut out, just little stuff, a couple weekends of dinner and movies or whatever it may be. So that's what I did. I'm just getting back into trading. I've been investing in my own businesses. Um, I primarily trade options. I tend to stick away from stocks because I'm only dealing with limited capital. Um, this is not going to really break down how to do options trading per se. I mean, I'm probably mentioned a couple things, but this is like level two. Like you already know the basics. You already know how to do a spread or a vertical, stuff like that. And if you want to learn those things, there's lots of courses out there. Um, yeah, there's lots of online stuff you can take to get it done. I recommend there's a guy, Phil Town, um, and then there's just other stuff. If you want to learn stocks, my friends and I are actually coming up with um, a course that will teach people the basics of investing in stocks and stuff like that. So yeah, here it is. Anyway, like I said, I put in 600 bucks, um, and I've invested already about 515, 520. There's some commissions in here and stuff like that for options trading. Um, and let's see. Yep, if you look at it, this is how I looked over this last long weekend. So it was 652 bucks, and then it jumped to 940. And then today it says 675, but that's pretty much a ghost number. It should be somewhere around 1200, 1300 bucks. Um, reason being, if you trade options, a lot of times they do options on the last spreads and stuff like that. But the positions that I've invested in have gone up significantly over the days, and I'm playing the call side, the long side. Um, so that pretty much I got my double today. But anyway, so I'm looking at getting into something with this last 60 bucks, and hopefully it can give you an idea of what you can make with just $60. So you know you won't think that, oh, you need hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to invest and stuff like that. Uh, so anyway, let's go right here. I'm looking at Quest. So the reason I'm looking at Quest is due to their earnings coming out on um, the 22nd, and there's a earnings of LabCorp that comes out on the 17th, so 5 days prior to, and it should give me an idea of how it's trending in that sector. Quest is one of the people who are approved to do coronavirus testings, and I think they've cut some costs by laying off some workers, but they've done a bunch of testing and healthcare industry with stuff like this. It could be a pretty good year for them. Other reason I'm looking at is if you look at the 10-year chart um, with this corona stuff, and I had looked at them a little bit earlier when they were, I think, down in their low 80s, maybe in their 70s. But anyway, if you looked at it, they haven't dipped below 80 since June of, was that 2016, right? That's the last time they've been below 80. Normally on a earnings report, I would play the high and low strategy. So Iron Condor, which is you buy above and below. But because they haven't dipped below a certain point, they haven't dipped below 80, and in order for me to get into that position below 80, it would cost me enough. It would eat into my profit, and I would have to go far enough out to get something I want. I'm not even going to play the low position. I'm going to play the higher call position and just go with it. If it does go above where I needed to go, then I'm good. If it goes below, then I'll just eat the $60. So basically, I was looking, like I said, I looked a while back and I couldn't quite get into a position. I was basically arguing over cents on the dollar, which I told myself I wasn't going to do. But I was looking at positions out here at the 105, 110. So right now they're sitting at 35 cents. Um, I was looking at the 100, 105 earlier, but that thing is bounced up 85 cents, which I don't even have enough for one contract. I'm trying to get into something where I can get into two contracts. So the further out, as you know, the less likely it is to hit. But if you're looking at a 10% increment, um, maybe let's say a 5% increment over on the earnings day of the plus side, and then you still have the run to go out until May. Reason I'm buying the May option here is because with 3 days left, it won't take me to the earnings. It'll take me to the LabCorp earnings, which is due on the 17th, but not to the Quest earnings. So I'm just going to go out another month. I don't want to pay too much in time, and I'm going to look at the 115 120 position. 115 120 is 8 cents, and that is a huge jump. That's a $30 jump for them to get to 120. They haven't even hit 120 before the coronavirus peak. So let's say I get them back to right about here, 110, within the month. They have some good support and resistance going on. So resistance about 110, which is good. Support looking, I guess you can get that one level here is 94, and definitely a good support at 80. Yeah. So let's see. We're gonna go back to this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still in the 10-year chart. I was wondering. I was like 80. When the hell they do that? Okay, here we go. Sorry for that. I suppose I confused the heck out of myself. All right, so their high was 118. If we look around this chart here, let's say minus the COVID era, we still have some decent support and resistance. So we're looking at 107 to somewhere around 104. There's a couple levels, and then up here to 112. So that's not bad for us. I'm gonna look at them getting back to 112-ish in that month period. So if I was to go trade that 115 to 120, that's too far out of my range, right? I'd be comfortable with the 110 to 115, which is 28 cents right now. And I got $60 to deal with. I don't think I'm gonna make it with 29 cents. Let's see, confirm this in. Oh, so let me reduce that amount of contracts to 2. Alright, so 29 cent, that would be cool. That would give me, I still have 22 cents left, so I could do this if they accept it. $58 trade, $2.60 on commissions, and a maximum profit of $942. So if it fully matures and it jumps and goes over the what is it, 115 stock price, like it goes back towards their high in 31 days, I would have turned that $60 and I would end up getting $900 back. I would sell it for roughly around $900. I mean, $1,000. So I'd be getting $942 back. So I think that's a good position to get into with $60. So we'll throw that in there and see how it works tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow this provides a dip, and I can get filled first thing. If not, I may have to go into one contract, but I'm not going to go past the 115, 120. I wouldn't really feel comfortable with Quest being as though it is not as fast a mover. So just in case I don't get filled half that day, and I don't want to be messing around looking at other stocks I want to kind of know what I'm getting into. Let's just really quickly check out a fast mover. I don't think I'm in Amazon right now. So my position should be Google. I got Google. I should have some. Not Amazon. What am I looking at? So Google, Boeing, and Tesla. So let's look at Amazon. Amazon is a fast mover. They have weekly positions. Let's look at what their chart looks like. So they've jumped way past their high, and of course they should. They're like the only thing moving. Everything's running off the shelf. So it's on a breakout. I could take a risk. That's so crazy, man, because I looked at these positions before the weekend, and I just didn't think they were going to make it that quickly. Amazon, but they announced that they're hiring, I don't know, 500,000 more workers or something crazy. So they're just still doing business as usual in the midst of this. So it wouldn't be a bad play to go and swing on the upside. They can run. If you look at them, they've had some pretty big increases. So from 2000 to 2175 or 2150, that's not bad. This one here is from 1700 to 1760 in a day. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, in a world like this, Amazon can run. They've already gotten back to their pre-corona levels. So I would say they're on a breakout. I could play them close. 17 days, which gives us a lot of trading. They're at 22 right now. Let's see. These are $1,000 spreads though. So 22, let's say another 220 bucks. We'll put them at 25. So we look at $1,000 for $265. It's not bad, right? But I only have 60 bucks to mess around with. So maybe I look into their monthly May spread and go a little further out since I have time. $2.03. So no, I'm probably not gonna deal with them right now unless I do something really close to the time frame, and it would have to be far out. I mean, these prices are pretty much inflated right now. So 17 days for them to get to 2,700 is 20 cents. 26.70. So I'd be sitting around one contract at the 26.70 mark, which would be $4 or 26.70. It should be about another 400 points. $350. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad for 50 cents. 17 days, 300 something dollars. It's actually not a bad trade because you gotta remember, as it climbs up, uh, the option will start to mature anyway. So just because I don't get the $1,000 doesn't mean I don't make money off of it as it trends that way. So we'll look and see. Hopefully Amazon breaks down tomorrow, and maybe I can get a little bit closer for that 17 days. Maybe get down to 2,700 on that. And it's $420 though. Yep. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm looking. Those are the positions that I'm looking to get with at $60. My last couple positions, just for transparency, I got in. I'm looking at it right now at my orders. I got into Google at $57 per contract. I got into Boeing at 16 cents per contract, and I got into Tesla at, I'm sorry, not 16 cents, $16 per contract, and then I got into Tesla at $73 per contract. And I'll show you the account tomorrow. Yep, and we'll see if we got filled. And tomorrow will be quick because I will be out of cash and money to trade with, and so it'll be pretty much a waiting game to see our positions. Oh, just to show you the positions. Oh, here we go. Fill orders. They didn't show the filled orders, but these are my positions. And like I said, all transparency, the thing I got into Boeing is the first one. So I have 10 contracts of Boeing for $5, worth $5 a piece if they fully go into effect. Like I said, this number here is pretty much incorrect. Right now they have a trading of, I don't know how much they have it worth, but minus something, which is one of those things. So if you ever trade options, most likely when you make your play, you're always going to go negative. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see it go negative anyway, especially off that first day or hour, due to the fact that you're buying overpriced. Nobody's really going to fill you in at the price if it's on its way up. So you're gonna pay a little bit more, and it's gonna fluctuate. Anyway, I have the Quest, which we're trying to get into now. I have Google, 2 contracts at Google, and 4 contracts at Tesla. My Teslas expire in May, so between that and the Quest, those will be the first ones up. Everything else expires in the long run. Boeing is 2021 January, and my Google is in June. So right now I'm looking at the Tesla. Um, they are already above my strike price, I think. My high side is 720, and not sure what they closed at today. Let's see, 709. So they did reach 720, but they are already close to the low side of that, and I still have pretty much a month left. Yep. So that's where we are. Yep, that's what's going through my mind. Hope you all continue to follow so that you can actually see how this progresses. Like I said, I'm not starting with thousands of dollars, not even $1,000, $600 to show you what's possible, you know. So yeah, there we go. All right, let me figure out this recording software, see how this thing works. Okay, still recording.